My name is Vivian Miller. I'm Assistant Professor in Social Work and Director of the Optimal Aging Institute at Bowling Green State University. Today, I'm joined by Marylyn Lucas, Secretary for the Alliance for Informed Citizens, and Martin Ramirez, author and speaker, President of the APWU Local 170 with 32 years at the US Postal Service. We're also going to be joined by Pamela Sullivan, who's a senior advocate and local volunteer, also board member of the Area Office on Aging. Today, we are going to talk about the US Postal Service. To get us started with a brief history, I'm going to turn it over to Marylyn Lucas.
Hello, my name is Marylyn Lucas, and this is just a little story about the post office. The United States Post Office was founded in 1775 by Ben Franklin and has survived a year longer than the United States. When Ben saw a need for door-to-door mail delivery, he conceived the idea of the Postal Service, and it has been delivering since. In fact, our founders thought so much of the Postal Service that it is in our Constitution, Article 1, Section 8. This service is exactly that, a service. The post office was not founded to be a profit-making enterprise, but a service for the citizens, and is the most respected of all the government agencies. The phrase, neither rain, snow, nor sleet will deter the delivery of the mail, and this has never been more true than in 2020. Even during a pandemic, the mail came through. Here are a couple of amazing facts of the US Postal Service. 1. The Postal Service employs more than 7.3 million people, 73,000 of which are military veterans. 2. In 2020, the Postal Service recognized 186 heroic employees. 3. The Post Office has more than 231,000 vehicles, one of the largest civilian fleets in the world. The next vehicle rollout, scheduled to take place in the next 2 years, will have improved ergonomics, safety features, fuel efficiency, and an amazing new design. 4. The U.S. Postal Service is protected by more than 200 federal laws enforced by the Postal Inspection Service, one of the nation's oldest law enforcement agencies. 5. The Postal Service receives no tax dollars for operating expenses and relies on the sale of postage, products, and services to fund its operations. 6. For 55 cents, anyone can send a letter, regardless of geographic location, to anywhere in the United States. Lastly, the Postal Service has the nation's largest retail network, bigger than McDonald's, Starbucks, and Walmart combined. So when July 1st, Postal Service Day comes, please say thank you to the postal employees for a job well done.
Thank you so much, Marylyn. That's such a rich history that really highlights all of the hard work and incredible service that the Post Service does for us. Now I'll take a moment to turn it over to Martin to speak more on his role and the US Postal Service.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity. Martin Ramirez here, APWU president, 32-year postal veteran of a service, like Marylyn says, that we take pride in. We're not a business. And when you hear people say we're going to the post office should act more like a business, honestly, I hear tear it apart. Because at the fabric of who we are, we're a service. You wouldn't say to a military person, thank you for your military business. That offends us when you say thank you for your postal business. It's postal service. So for me, I speak for a lot of folks that do take this from head and heart, and that's where I like to speak from, my head and heart to yours. Whoever's listening to wherever you're getting this information, understand that the Postal Service, like Marylyn said, we're in the fabric of this country. Before this was even a country, we created an internet. We started the internet, the original internet of hard brick and mortar buildings. And we created cities that wouldn't be on the map today had it not been for giving them a zip code. So you can go out in my area to Burgoon, Ohio, and you'll see there's a zip code in a city because of the zip code. So this is the internet that we sprinkled out throughout this whole country from the east to the west, north and south. And we still, to this day, the United States Postal Service is responsible close to 46% of the mail shipped around the world. So that's a disproportionate number of packages and letters that go through the Postal Service. But I like to take people down a trip to memory lane. When you remember that letter you got from a girlfriend or a pen pal when you were a young kid, for me, a girlfriend, maybe a boyfriend. We do more than just packages and letters. We watch these communities. We see these kids grow up. We know your special needs child. I have a son with Down syndrome. He's 26. I know my letter carrier knew when he got out of the yard or got out of our eyesight, he knew what house he belonged to, what family he came back to. So for the Postal Service, this is where we gain our respect and trust. And over the last year or so, you guys have heard a lot of stuff going on in the post office. I like to say, if you come to me, don't ask me my opinion, ask me my ideals based on my experience. So the ideals I come with and try to share with anybody out there is that the Postal Service doesn't need revamped or reconsidered, just like a Ferrari wouldn't. You jump in a Ferrari and run it into a wall, you don't get out of the car and go, Ferrari doesn't know how to build a car. This vehicle has been going for 246 years. So we don't need you telling us it doesn't work. We need you listening to us to tell you how it works, because we've been doing it for 30 some years. So really when this post office is working well, like I said, imagine your neighborhoods being able to know when the electric bill's coming again. We used to do this in the past. My wife would say this, it's the second week of the month, here comes my cable bill. It's Tuesday, she'd say on a Wednesday, what happened? Just one day off. So that's the post office I want us to get back to. The consistency, reliable post office that Marylyn talked about in the Constitution that said we have the right for affordable, efficient, secure mail. Those aren't just words to us. That goes to the fabric of what we try to meet up with every day when I see these carriers and these clerks. And I want to give a shout out to a lot of clerks at these small area offices. They're running their own store in essence. And a lot of people don't think of it this way. In these little cities, that's it. It's the post office. And they run that like their own business. They've never had that training other than from the post office. So we set trends. We are the trendsetters when it comes to, we're still in the epicenter of a $1.6 trillion industry. So I guess I want to say to you, if you don't, I guess, like the post office, you might have a personal experience. We're not perfect. I'm not saying that at all. But if you don't like the concept, then it does go against the fabric of what this country was built on, a sovereign nation. The way you get to be a sovereign nation is you have access to information, and you're not your information is not being held up. So the post office has done nothing. If nothing they've delivered information across all races, creeds, and colors, all nations, to get that information that you can make your decisions, you can pay your bills, you can find out whether the newspaper's telling you the same thing in Boston that they were telling you in LA. This is what it is to us, a service that we say, we're not interested in how you think. We're letting you know, here's some stuff to let you think. So for me, the post office has been a pride and joy to be part of for 32 years. I really believe it stands for credibility. Like you talked about the postal inspection services, a lot of laws and criminal law started with the post office, setting those trends, mailing things to the mail. We used to mail children. That's how secure in 1913 to 1915, a 15-cent stamp was put on a child in Cincinnati and mailed to Cincinnati into Kentucky, 35 miles. That's how trusted we are. So I guess it's not a plea. If it is a plea, it's to say, I don't want to see something for you ruined that we got to experience, my generation. So for the generation that's coming back and saying, oh, email's doing this, that, and the other, we still can't email a pair of shoes. You still need somebody to deliver that. And the other carriers that do come into this equation need us too. We deliver that last mile. So they don't have a truck for a reasonable price being able to get to Burgoon just because it's not. But we're there every day. We visit more than family. So from that, folks, I just hope you hear it from my heart and my head that I'm not here to say, I want another job, I want a raise, I want a bonus. I don't, my career is right at the end of it. I'm here to tell you what you could lose if you don't take care of it. Be careful. Because I don't want to look at an America without an US Postal Service. I don't know what that'll look like. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martin. I like how you shared that the Post Service is certainly a part of our community. Just the other day, I was out walking like I frequently am. I try to get, 10,000 steps a day. And my postal lady said to me, "Oh, today you're walking a dog. Did you get a puppy? I see you out walking every day, but I've never seen you with a dog before." And that made me feel special. I felt noticed, I felt like certainly like I'm a part of this neighborhood, very much like she is as well. So now I'll turn it over to Pamela Sullivan, Senior Advocate and Local Volunteer, Board Member of the Area Office on Aging, to share her experience as a community member.
Hello, everyone. I'm Pamela S. Sullivan. I'm a retiree of 18. I've been retired 18 years already. I am with the Area Office on Aged as an advocate for senior things in the community under ABLE, LAWO, the police department and fire department both. So in volunteer positions, I experience a lot of things, communications that I have with seniors who are confined to their homes, those that can't get out. As a committee of the Alliance of Informed Citizens, I represent Toledo, Lucas County area. So I might be anywhere in the county trying to help out our seniors and help them provide services. We give homage and thanks so much to the post office for helping us out and all the different things that they do for us. The services they provide for our seniors. A lot of us in the retirement system with our insurances do mail order medications. That is important to be on target with the medications. We're counting on the post office to bring them because we have to go through the cycle. Those of us who do not have the computer and the technology to be able to order our medications that way, it's a phone call. It's the postman that have to help us out. So we look forward to them providing the service for us, continuing the service, quality service that we've had already. We've had a few delays, but we're not even speaking to the delays because it's not important, because they do fulfill what's required of them and what our expectations are. As a senior, without the internet and the technology, and there are a lot of people that do not have that technology. I have some issues myself trying to deal with the things we do electronically. So for those who need a voice to represent the services of the post office, we want to let them know that we have these smartphones that don't do all the capabilities and whatnot of the more advanced technicians. We have to do our banking. When we do banking and things come by mail, we look for those tangible things. I found that now more that I've gotten a little younger, that we do look for the tangible things that the post office is going to bring to us. I love the tangible things because I can write on it, make myself notes when I make those conversations over the phone. We count on the post office for bringing us communications in our times of isolation, because the days are very long. If you have a senior that is just strictly at home and the only other contact you have other than the mailman bringing something to you that he wants to let you know that you have right now is a knock on the door and the greeting that you get, that's the only visitor that you get. So the mail is important to have it there in a timely fashion, and to be able to relate to that postal worker that comes. We count on their delivery of the mail so we can follow through with our prescriptions that we order, the mail things. If we have family members, more times than not, if you have family members, they have moved on, they're no longer living in your area. So the mail is important to bring communications from outside. That gives us something we can cherish, a card, a letter, a couple dollars in an envelope, and or hear something from your grandchildren if we don't have grandchildren here locally. The bills and all having come, we can sort through them better. I can process, you can look at your statements, and your statements and things are important. As we try to pay our bills and we get those payments sent off, we need to have a reliable source to carry them through. So we cherish the services of the postal system itself and the workers that are there. They work some long hours and they do a good job to be able to provide our services. We know in paying bills, if we're sending a check and we're mailing something where we know it's going away from the house, where we might not be able to get in a car and drive to a post office to drop it off, or a box on the corner. We get the late payments. If you don't get it on time, you get late payments, and trying to rectify that might cause us even a further delay. So a lot of people count on the mail service, and it has been a worthwhile pleasure for all of us to have that little amenity there to help us out. The outside correspondence and the mails and whatnot the senior gets is emotional uplifting for them, because like I said, if they're confined to home and you don't have regular visits, it comes, and we've had some delays in being able to have visitors and people around us. So I know for a fact that is a good thing, that you have that communication, the incoming mail, so you can respond to it. All their service is greatly appreciated throughout the Toledo area, and the citizens that I end up seeing. I'm looking forward to having a dynamic postal service and keep that entity going for us, for the sake of our seniors and safety of our seniors in the community. I thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. In the comment box below, we'll have the contact information for the folks that have been here today. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.